Okay, I'd like to call this July 12, 2022 reorganizational meeting of the Somers Board of Education to order. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we're going to do a roll call. Heidi Cambereri.
Here.
Ife Chang.
What's this for?
Ife
Roll call.
Chang.
Roll call.
Oh,
Just say here.
Nancy. Roll call for.
Roll call.
no, I mean, what?
No, he's
Say you're here.
she's just doing roll call. Just say you're here.
Okay, here, we're doing a roll call.
Mary Rose Joseph.
Here.
Amanda Kendall.
Here.
Nick Mancini.
Here.
Chadwick Olson.
Here.
Lindsay Portnoy.
Here.
Okay. Can I have a motion for Dr. Blanche, Superintendent of Schools, to be appointed temporary chairperson of this reorg special meeting?
Second.
Okay. Heidi, Chad. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, Dr. Blanche will now preside until a president is nominated and appointed.
So first piece, just looking for a motion to adopt the agenda today.
Motion.
A motion. Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Next, we'll go ahead, Nancy, we'll go ahead and administer the oath of office.
Yep, that's next.
Okay.
Trustees for Ife and Amanda and Chad.
Okay.
Thank you, Nancy.
Nicole, you rise, raise your right hand. I state your name.
Aye, Chadwick
Ife
Olson.
Chang,
Solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
Solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
And that I
and
that I will
will
faithfully discharge
the duties of trustee of the Board of Education of the Somers Central School District
the
the
duties of trustee
of the Board of Education of the Somers Central School District
of the town of Somers, New York, according to the best of my ability.
of the town of Somers, New York, according to the best of my ability.
Right. Just to note that Amanda took her oath on July 1st so that we could give her access to board docs and her email.
Oh, good.
Okay.
That's why there were fireworks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. So next piece for myself would be to call for nominations for election president.
I would nominate Heidi Cambereri.
Do we have a second?
Oh, second.
Any other nominations for president?
I will nominate Lindsay. Portnoy.
Any, a second?
Second.
Any other nominations for president? Okay, there being no further nominations, let's vote on the first motion nominating Heidi Cambereri for president.
I know in the past, we've said like we've had candidates, nominees say a little something. I don't know if because
Yep.
Lindsay's on how Lindsay feels about that, if she wants to or not,
Oh, okay.
Um,
up to
I
you.
think so, should.
before we voted. Lindsay, did you want to have a chance to say something before the vote?
Well, this is surprising to me. So let's just share that. I don't know that I have very much to say other than thank you, Ife. That's a lovely honor. My hope is that the president, whoever it may be, would be able to enact the role as it should be enacted, which is to organize all of the trustees, to collect the data from the trustees, and to be able to present that data in a timely way to the superintendent. I know we haven't necessarily done that as well as possible in the previous year, so Heidi, I hope that moving forward, we can do that. But, you know, I don't have any big, beautiful, eloquent speech. I think that maybe what I would like to talk about is what is the role of the president on the board before we decide on who would like to be that role. I don't know if anybody else would like to share any information there.
Lindsay, do you mean like us share what we think the president should be doing, or clarity on what we think the role of the president is?
Sure, both, Mary Rose. I think that those are both really great points. I think that for transparency, right? So I know that since we've been on the board, we've talked quite a bit about being transparent. And this is something where I don't think we've had quite a bit of transparency. What is the role, right? To preside over the meetings for certain, but it's not, there's no special magic power, but you do have to be organized, and you do have to present data, and you do have to organize that data, and you do have to share it in a timely way. And I'm not certain that we're all in agreement of what that looks like. So maybe before we make a vote and maybe nominate somebody else, we should talk about that.
Yep, I'll take a stab. I mean, look, I think the president not only, we all have equal votes here, right? There's not one vote that's stronger than the other. I think it's important for the president to be, the facilitator, making sure that all votes are being heard, making sure that, look, if there's a majority or consensus on a couple of things that's getting bubbled up and being addressed, and whether it be brought to the board table or brought to the administration, but needs to be a facilitator not only of their voice, but also, the voice of the majority.
Well, I think my view is that president is the most important job. However, president can also delegate. So it's not so critical that if the president is able to find other people to help and delegate, matters to do. So the important thing really is the whole board is working as a group. And I feel that, having nominated and having two candidates is a better sign than we don't have anybody wants to run presidency. And that's the very reason I feel we should have candidates that are willing to serve. Certainly, everybody's different. People have different style, but we are all adults. We could learn. We can really work together. So important part is get the whole group work together towards a common goal. That is to make our school district the best district that in the nation, if possible. That's my view of a presidency.
I don't want to echo the same things, but I think someone who has more time, energy, and effort than the other trustees, because I know it takes more effort and time to be a president, to be able to convey information that they may receive from the superintendent to all the trustees, so we can all make the same informed decisions. To work as a conduit, I guess, between the superintendent and the trustees, because again, there are opportunities for more meetings and the trustees themselves. I think that's what I think.
Is there anyone else that would be interested in serving as president? We can self-nominate.
Do I have a chance to just let me jump in a second?
I'm sorry.
Since you opened the floor, although I think it's a little bit of an odd way to proceed. It's not how we've done it before, where the rest of us are talking about the role of the board president. But I guess we still have time to hear from the nominees. I mean, the board president is the busiest job on the board. There's no extra vote the president has, but it's like the others have said, it's organization and communication to everyone. But then it's also, up to us as a team to pay attention to things and do our part as well on time. And so this is a group effort, and we're all here as volunteers for the kids, for our district, the district employees, and just our whole town, because we want it to continually get better. And that's what we want from our president, to help us organize and be able to discuss these things so that we can make the appropriate and best decisions. So that's what I'm looking for to continue as president.
It was interesting. Anybody else want to chime in on what the role of president? It was a good question to pose, Lindsay. It's interesting to listen and hear everybody's perspectives on it. Having served at it for a year, and I'll kind of echo that it's a role that comes not really with more weight or influence, but with more responsibility. When it comes down to voting to approve something and asking questions, we all have a role to play in that when we're at the board table. But having that administrative piece of the conversations to set the agenda and trying to get, feedback. And so, speaking from having done it for the past year, it's a learning curve. There's things that I can definitely do better and differently. I've definitely also learned that I think to some degree, the board, the board is as good in some degree as its weakest link, and board president can be as good as the board, and the board can be as good as their leadership and organization. It's sort of, everybody works together in it. So, I've definitely heard feedback throughout, the last couple of months. I've had some time to reflect on how I had done. Would my life be easier not being board president again? 100%. But, do I feel like I have some things that I can definitely contribute? Yes, I think we've got some things in motion. I think we've talked about some vision and some priorities of what we need to do as a board and how we want to be involved in moving the district forward, and have some exciting ideas for how to do that. I think we're in a great point to refocus, and I'd be happy to put in that time to try to have the conversations and the meetings. I think we need more opportunities for communication as a board, and making sure that the pathway feels open, where I might feel like everybody's had an opportunity to give me feedback. Trustees may not have felt that. So making sure that everybody's feeling well represented is important. And I'm just going to share whether I'm the board president next or not. I just came from the Westchester Putnam Board of Directors meeting, and that opportunity to hear other boards and how they handled this process right here, and some of the communication piece, it was fascinating. So there's a lot we can learn. And as the places we found hiccups in the past year, I think there's a lot of good strategies out there on how we can move forward and move past them. So.
Are there any other folks that are interested, Heidi, before we go to this voting bit?
Is it, in terms of your candidacy, we haven't typically done like question and answer during this.
No, I'm sorry. Are there any other trustees that would be interested in serving as president is what I'm asking.
Oh.
I think we have 2 nominees.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, we have 2 nominees. So if you guys are ready, we can vote on the first. Is everybody ready? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. I need to know who is in favor of Heidi Camporeri to be nominated as president.
We just raise our hands.
Yes.
Which sequence you are voting?
She just said for Heidi.
For Heidi. Yes,
Voting
that
for
was the
Heidi.
first motion. So we have Chad, Heidi, Amanda. Lindsay, you don't have your hand up, do you?
Oh, gosh. No, I didn't.
Okay, so it was Heidi, Chad, and Amanda, correct? Okay, and for the second motion, nominating Lindsay as president, can you please raise your hands? So we have Heidi, Mary Rose, and Nick. Lindsay, are you voting for yourself?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Okay, so we have 4 in favor of Lindsay being nominated board president. So Lindsay is president. So Lindsay, now go ahead, you take the floor.
Okay.
We ask for nominations for vice president.
So we'll ask for nominations for board vice president.
Any nominations for board vice president?
Nominate Nick.
Okay,
I'd like to nominate Ife.
and I need a second first for Nick.
Second.
Can somebody second?
Second.
Okay. Okay, can I have a second motion? Is there, I'm sorry, any other nominations for vice president?
I'd
I'm
like
gonna
to.
nominate Heidi. She likes it or not.
Okay,
I'll accept the nomination.
second, any second?
I'll second.
Okay.
Second.
Or any other motions for vice president?
I thought I heard my name before, but
Yes, Nancy, I nominated. Very difficult.
Okay, so Lindsay, you nominated Ife.
Yes.
Is there a second for Ife? Mary Rose? Okay. Any other motions for vice president? Okay, can we vote on the first motion for Nick to be vice president?
Should we maybe give them a chance to just have a statement on
Oh,
how
sure,
they feel their role is?
sure, go ahead.
Thank you.
Sure. So, yeah, thank you for the nomination of that. Look, I've had a year to adjust and try to, learn not only the education law and the practices and kind of, how the whole flow works and, what the overall cycle is of the school district. One of the things that I'd like to, bring to the board table, from my outside experience is, it has been that facilitation of, whether it be meetings or organizing different, executive teams or working with other, private company boards in, identifying what the priorities are, what the goals are, working with multiple personalities and different viewpoints and just trying to come up with a productive conversation, right? Not to say we haven't, right? But there's some areas that we can work on and develop as a board to, to improve that, right? Improve what we're trying to get out of this, right? And, to be fair to the administration and the rest of the district is right, making sure that we're accurately or in timely giving them goals and objectives that, are, achievable and, something that they can, start working towards and heading towards.
Ife? You were a nominee. Go ahead. We'll go along.
I thought you were also a nominee.
Oh, I am. Sorry, I was just moving along the table.
Okay. I've been on the board for a long time. I never really seek for any position or because I felt the board is a unity. It's a whole body. It really doesn't matter whether you have a title or not or so on. I think in this particular year and in this election, I again want to repeat, my purpose is really to show to ourselves and to the community that we are together. It's not a political coup or anything, or some kind of a replacement and so on. And I felt it's basically helping to work together as a team in the best interest for the district. I think sometimes some people have more energy, like Nick probably has more than I do, but some people may have more experience and a little, more thoughts in the process. So as long as people can work together, it doesn't really matter much. Okay, I think the vice president certainly should support the president in the fullest. And I felt I could support Lindsay, and I think Lindsay been president 1 year before. I was the nominee at that time as well. Not nominee, is it? I nominated her, yes, nominee, right? So I don't mind supporting, and I certainly hope that I can support her in that capacity. So that's why I accepted the nomination. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Vice President, a lot of it really is supporting the president, helping sometimes carry some of the lift of that work, which is also something that we can talk about as a board, how to disperse some of that more equally above members. There's a lot of things that typically we may have had board presidents doing that can be shared among board members to give everybody more equal investment in outreach with the community and the district as a whole, and carrying that lift. So that's a big part of it. And the vice president, you're there at the table at the agenda, setting meetings too. So it's important, I think, sometimes to have a range of a representation and opinions when you're looking at that, so that you're trying to get a full perspective of the board, not just have, two people in those roles that are coming at it with, a singular view, making sure that it's, that everybody, that you're representing. So as a vice president, you're not just representing yourself and what you think is important, but what the entire board values. Same for president, but vice president also, because you are part of those conversations. But ultimately, it's setting up a meeting so that everybody is getting the information and is important. So.
Okay, sorry, can I just go back for a sec? Lindsay,
Yes.
I need to administer the oath to you. I'm sorry, I should have done it before. So can we do that now, before we vote on the vice president? So if you could raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Lindsay Portnoy, solemnly swear
I, Lindsay Portnoy, solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States and support the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of President of the Board of Education
and that I will faithfully discharge the responsibilities of the the President of the Board of Education
of the Somers Central School District of the Town of Somers, New York,
of the Somers Central School District of the Town of Somers, New York,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the very best of my ability.
Okay, great, thank you. I will have you sign this as soon as you come back. When do you come back?
Saturday morning, pretty early Saturday morning, late Friday night.
Okay, great, so on Monday. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so if we can now vote for vice president. So the first nomination was Nick Mancini to be nominated as vice president. All who vote for Nick, please raise your hand. Nick, Mary Rose, Lindsay, how do you vote?
I vote for Nick.
Okay. Okay. Second nomination for Heidi. All who vote for Heidi, raise your hand. So we have Heidi, Chad, Amanda.
Okay, I'll add my vote to Heidi
Okay,
to show support.
and Ife. Okay, we had a third, well, okay, I guess we can vote for this too, for the motion for Ife to be voted vice president. Raise your hand.
You can, right?
Everyone's
Raise
voted.
twice.
Okay, everybody voted, okay.
I will do it.
Okay. All right, so Heidi is vice president, and
Sharifa.
let's do the oath. I, Heidi Camporari, solemnly swear
I, Heidi Camberary, solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of Vice President
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the Vice President
of the Board of Education of the Somer Central School District
of the Board of Education of the Somer Central School District
of the Town of Somer, New York, according to the best of my ability.
of the Town of Somerset, New York, according to the best of my ability.
Nancy, are we ready to move to item 7? I'm sorry, item 8?
So we can move forward with the agenda.
Yeah. Congratulations, both of you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Is that an okay, Nancy?
What, no, what was that? I'm sorry. We can move forward with the agenda. Yes. So number 8, appointments of district officers.
And can we be it resolved that the following appointments and settings of stipends and rates be approved for 2022-23 as follows? We don't have to read them all.
No, you don't have to read them all.
Amazing, as presented. Motion?
Sorry, was there a
We're on the
motion?
district second
What, could you repeat? I didn't hear.
nominating the district officers.
Oh,
Is there a motion?
Didn't hear who motioned.
Nick
I did,
motioned
so
and I
moved, yeah.
seconded. Yep.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? Okay. The signatures on statistical reports, be it resolved, the signatures on statistical reports be those of the president of the board and district treasurer. Motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? Certification of payrolls, be it resolved, the signature of the superintendent of schools be approved for the certification of payrolls for 22-23 school year. Motion?
So moved.
Second.
Then,
In favor?
Aye.
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 Abstained? Opposed, abstained? Petty cash, resolved that the following petty cash accounts be maintained for the 2022-23 school year as presented. Motion?
So moved.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? The mileage reimbursement, be it resolved, the district be authorized to reimburse the staff members required to use their personal vehicles at the mileage rates established by the Internal Revenue Service for business expense deduction unless the terms of agreement specify otherwise. Furthermore, such travel may be given prior approval or authorization by the employee supervisor and submitted for reimbursement on appropriately completed claim forms. Motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Cell phones, be it resolved, the Board of Ed of the Somer Central School District hereby approves the issuance of cell phones for the purpose of conducting district business to the persons in the job titles as listed as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Depositories, be it resolved, the following banks and investment firms be designated as depositories for the district for the 2022-23 school year. Nancy, can we say as presented here, or do we need to go to the resolved?
As presented is fine.
As presented. Motion,
So moved.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? All right, the district bank accounts, be it resolved, the Board of Education of the Somer Central School District hereby ratifies the establishment of the bank accounts for the 2022-23 fiscal year as presented here. Motion,
So moved.
Second.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. Designation of newspapers, be it resolved, the Journal News and the Somers Record be designated as the official district newspapers for the 22-23 school year. Motion,
So moved.
Second.
Nancy, can I ask a silly question? Are the publishers for both of these newspapers the same? They're different publishers, yes?
No, they're different.
They're different.
They're different. Just making sure. Excellent. Sorry, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. Be it resolved that the school purchasing agent or his designee be authorized to submit bid notices and to open bids for the district for the 2022-23 school year. Motion,
So moved.
Second.
in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. Okay, so now we're to the Committee on Special Education, Preschool Special Education. Be it resolved that the following be appointed members of the Committee on Special Education for the 2022-23 school year as presented here.
So
moved.
moved. I'm sorry. Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Uh, Be it resolved that the following be appointed members of the Committee on Preschool Special Education for the 2022-23 school year as presented. Motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? Okay, so policies, be it resolved that all policies and procedures in effect for the 2021-22 school year, including the code of conduct, remain in full force and effect for the 2022-23 school year. Motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? Public Officers Law, whereas Section 18 of the Public Officers Law of the State of New York authorizes municipal corporations, including boards of education, to provide defense and indemnification, to those associated with the school districts, including but not limited to officers, employees, agents, and board authorized volunteers. Now therefore be it resolved, the Board of Education of the Somer Central School District hereby adopts the defense and indemnification provisions contained in Section 18 as presented here. Motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? Dignity Act coordinators, be it resolved, the following be appointed as Dignity Act coordinators for the 2022-23 school year as presented here.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? Okay, be it resolved, the Board of Education workshop meeting schedule for the 2022-23 school year be approved as presented. Motion?
So moved.
Second.
Just a quick question. Are we following the same schedule we were this year? I know there were a couple trustees that wanted to make sure that the meetings were following on a certain date. Is that a problem for anyone?
For the most part, they are Mondays and, the first and third Tuesday, but there are some that are different.
So all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? Okay, student accounts. Be it resolved, the student activity accounts in effect for the 22-23 school year are as presented here. Motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? Impartial hearing officers, be it resolved, the Board of Education, upon recommendation of the superintendent of schools, hereby adopts the list of impartial hearing officers as listed on the New York State Education website, impartial hearing reporting system website. Motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? Okay, 25. Be it resolved that Ronald Longo Esquire be appointed as hearing officer to conduct superintendent's hearings in accordance with section 3214 at a rate of $195 per hour for services rendered with a minimum of 4 hours billed for each hearing date. Motion? Motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Sorry.
Opposed, abstained? I'm sorry, Chad, did I miss
No,
something?
no, I was looking at the wrong item on there. That's why I was pausing.
Sorry, did I skip something?
Nope, you didn't skip anything. I was looking at the wrong one.
Okay, good. So 26, be it resolved that for the 2022-23 school year, the superintendent of schools be granted authority to make appointments in the absence of a Board of Education appointment, and that such temporary appointments shall be formally placed for action by the Board of Education at the next regularly scheduled meeting. Motion?
So
So
moved.
moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Contracts authorization, be it resolved that for the 2022-23 school year, the Board of Education of the Somer Central School District hereby authorizes the superintendent to approve and execute on behalf of the school district any contract for the purchase of goods or services that is a value up to $15,000. Motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Okay, so committees. I don't know if folks had decided ahead of time of committees, but there are several committees here. Nancy, do we want to take requests to be on certain committees before we put them into the designated spots here?
No, you guys can all just let me know. Just decide,
Yeah.
who wants to be on what committee.
Okay.
Let's go, let's just go one item at a time, the audit committee.
Yeah,
Who's
the first
Being on
audit,
The audit committee.
I would like to stay on the audit committee if possible. I've been on it the past several years,
Serve on it.
and Nick was also on it and quite helpful.
Well, I have a question. On so many committees, is it possible for us to fill all the names after the retreat. I think it would be a little more appropriate for people to think through all these committees and how you serve them, rather than we just randomly fix names.
Well, I don't think it's random. We did get an email ahead of time to say to think
Yeah.
about what.
Well, I have a question, Ife. Can we put folks in now who are seemingly interested, and at some point during the year, if they want to be, if they want to give somebody else the opportunity, would that be more comfortable for you? That way we can have these roles filled?
One thing
that-
I thought maybe we want to consider too, because I know we've had some talk about setting goals and some specific things that we wanted to do as a board. And we may decide that we need another committee or liaisons or something like that. So I think there could be flexibility to change. And I think we just have to approve the changes at a meeting down the road. So we could tentatively, commit now,
Okay.
but I
Yeah.
think that doesn't mean you have to do it the entire year. You can always make a change.
Fine.
Yes, well said.
Yeah.
We can make adjustments.
Okay. I'd like to be on the audit committee. Do we have 3 folks? Nick had his hand up. Chad, you've been on audit.
Happy to do audit committee again.
Okay, so
Anybody
Lindsay,
else?
Chad, and Nick.
Okay, so be it resolved, the Board of Education continues and reconstitutes the audit committee as required by Chapter 263 of the laws of 2005, known as the Comptroller's 5-point plan, as an advisory audit committee, and be further resolved, the Board of Education designates Board of Education members Chad Olson, Nick Mancini, Lindsay Portnoy to serve on said committee for the 2022-23 school year, in addition to a community member who will be identified at a later date. Motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. Okay, so Citizens Finance Committee, we need 3 folks to volunteer for this as well. Joe has historically been on this, but not this year.
I'm
I'll
happy to.
I'll nominate Handle.
Excellent.
Read the same line.
I'm happy to step in on the Citizen Finance Committee.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda. We need 2 other folks, though.
No, just one other.
Oh, I'm sorry. It looks like there are 3 spots here. The Citizen Finance Committee only needs,
2, right?
No,
No,
2, normally 2.
Yeah, so one.
okay. I see 3 spaces. I'm sorry. So that, and
It had been.
I can-
Mary
I-
Rose ran it last year.
Once, I did it one year, my first, I don't know.
Ife, would you like to be on it?
Okay.
Yeah?
Haven't been, on this.
You meet in the mornings?
Mhm.
CFC.
Let's do it in the morning. The morning's okay with me.
Excellent. Okay, so be it resolved that the Board of Education designates the following Board of Education members, Amanda Kendall and Ife Chang, to serve on the Citizens Finance Committee for the 2022-23 school year. Motion?
So moved.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Excellent. Opposed, abstained. So Policy Committee. I'd like to nominate Heidi Camberary for this one. That's possible.
Yeah, I can continue on
I
policy,
think we're volunteering.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't want to do it, I had done it before and then had switched. That's fine. Yeah, policy committee is fine for me.
I would like
So
to,
Lindsay, you're saying you don't want to do it anymore?
I mean, I would do it. I think you actually did quite a good job with it, and with your role
Nominate,
with Westchester,
Nick.
I think it makes sense.
Sure.
I'll do it.
Yeah,
Nick?
I nominate Nick and Nick accepted.
Amazing.
So we have Nick and
And who else?
And
Chad?
I'll do it again. I'm happy to do it again.
Amazing. Thank
Right.
you. Be it resolved, the Board of Education hereby designates board members Chad Olson, Heidi Camberary, and Nick Mancini to the Policy Committee. Yeah, did I get that right? The Policy Committee for the 2022-23 school year to carry out the functions as set forth in the Policy Committee Charter. Motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Okay, be it resolved, Communications Committee.
I would like to.
Go ahead, Amanda. I was on it last year, so I'm happy to continue.
Amazing,
Yeah, continue on that one.
amazing.
Amanda, Nick, and
Amanda,
Mary
you wanna do
Rose.
that?
Mhm. So these 3, okay?
Are we ready, Nancy?
Yep.
Be it resolved, the Board of Education hereby designates board members Amanda Kendall, Nick Mancini, Mary Rose Joseph to the Communications Committee of the 2022-23 school year to carry out the functions as set forth in the Communications Committee Charter. Motion?
So moved.
No second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. So now we have the Safety Committee, be it we need somebody for the safety committee here. Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
we
Safety
just
committee,
need
yes.
one member. Yep.
Just one. When does the safety committee typically meet?
3 to 4 meetings annually.
Yeah, but is it during the day? Is it a morning or does this in the evening?
That one can flex. With Dan Corrado, he leads that one. So we're typically, those have moved a little bit back and forth,
No
but it
fixed
usually
date.
is during the day
No.
at some point in time.
Well,
Right.
I will
I'll-
serve. I haven't been on that before.
Is that only one? Is that the
There's
one I
just
was on
one,
last
Just
year?
one.
one representative for the safety
It's
committee.
not fixed time.
Last year, we did have two.
Go and- yeah.
Right,
Last year
much
we
like we
did
have
too.
2 or 3, but state requirements say that.
Oh, got it, got it.
One.
So-
So
Oh, so
one
more
minimum.
than one person wanted to do it.
Yeah, just not any more than 3.
But one is better, right, Ray?
Hmm?
Is one better or?
I was just trying to make sure that it was.
I guess if you have more than one, it helps if
Yeah.
the one person can't go
Yeah.
to the meeting or something.
Yeah, that's good.
I'll do it as well.
All right, the three are
Make sure we're
Okay.
covered.
Thank you both.
super safe.
So Aoife and Chad.
In Chad and Ife, yeah? All right, so be it resolved that the Board of Education designates Board of Education member Ife Chang and Chad Olson to serve on the district-wide safety committee for the 22-23 school year. Motion.
So moved.
Second.
All in
Okay.
favor?
Aye.
Excellent. So the Westchester Putnam School Board Association liaison, we need one member for that.
I'm happy to do that again. Unless somebody else wanted to, but
I mean, it might be a great way, if you're already serving in that space, Heidi, if Amanda wanted to learn more about it or Nick wanted to take more of a leadership role.
I was going to say, I would encourage, one thing I really want to encourage members to participate in more of the meetings and things they offer, just to get a sense of that, the networking that's out there and that some of the training and information pieces, whether as a liaison or not. So yeah, I am already going to have a route there, so I'm happy to do it. If nobody else wants to, if somebody else would like to.
Again,
Just be like a
To be a
co
liaison.
thing, like I'm not necessarily, because I also still have the seat in SUAC and everything, and I've brought up the PTA liaison situation.
Mhm.
I don't want to spread I don't know, I have a habit of joining too many committees, but
So yeah, and like one piece we can look into, like there's town hall meetings that they have that board presidents can do, or a designee. It could be the liaison, it could be any trustee. So that's another
okay.
spot.
Yeah, I would
So-
add this. I think it's good for you to have a backup like Amanda, because there's a lot of legal issues involved
Yeah.
in this organization. Go to the Albany and, legislation and so on. Sometimes you have documents you really have to quickly read through and be able to give our position quickly to support, either not support, some reasoning, so on. So maybe you could have backup to support Heidi.
Yeah, I'm happy to
on-
back up Heidi. I just don't necessarily want to jump in that much in the deep end on my first day.
Yeah, it's really more legal, this discussion.
Whatever you want. I'm happy to do it. If you want to have that official title, that's fine
I
with me.
don't need the
So,
official title necessarily. I'm happy to be the backup official title.
I'm going to make the executive decision that the two of you are going to do it together, yes?
Yes.
So be it resolved that the Board of Education designated Board of Education members, plural, Amanda Kendall and Heidi Cambreri serve as the WPSBA liaisons, plural, and advocacy liaisons to Westchester Putnam School Board. Motion,
So moved.
Second.
Second.
all in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, excellent. Public hearing of district-wide safety plan. This is just, we're acknowledging this, right, Nancy? We're not saying anything
No,
about
we're
this.
opening the
comment.
floor for comments on the plan.
Excellent.
It's a requirement that we have to have a public hearing, but I don't know, it doesn't look like we have a public, so.
I had one question
Sure.
on it.
Yeah.
One of the things I had noticed, there's a list that has the contact information of members. Is that supposed to be sort of a list of numbers of who you would like to be able to contact those people if an emergency arose? Or was that just sort of for organization for the purpose? I guess I asked because one of the things I noticed, it seemed like from the district, all the numbers that were there were office numbers. And I know we have some district issued cell phones. So I didn't know if for a situation where the phone lines might not be working or it's after hours, if it made sense to include a cell phone number. But if it's just for like
Yeah.
organizing a meeting purpose, but if it was
It's
for
just for
emergency purpose.
organizational
Yeah,
purposes.
it is more for just the organizational to
Okay.
demonstrate there, you have the members on the team that represent the different roles in the district that are supposed to be on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have we satisfied the public hearing, Nancy?
Yep, we can close. Yep, close public comments.
So we're going to close public comments. Sorry, do we have I think I lost my spot here. Hang on. Okay, so central office report, there is none. The minutes, right? So be it resolved that the Board of Education, having received copies of the minutes for the June 7th and June 28th meeting, hereby approves the same motion.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. Board action, we go to the personnel consent agenda. Be it resolved, the Board of Ed, upon recommendation of the superintendent of schools, hereby approves the attached personnel agenda. Motion,
So moved.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. The business consent agenda, be it resolved that the Board of Education, upon recommendation of the superintendent of schools, hereby approves the attached business agenda. Motion,
So moved.
Second.
any comments here to share or no?
Nothing in particular.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. Policies, be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools and after holding the required public hearing, the Board of Education of the Somer Central School District does hereby accept the following policy for a first reading and adoption, 3230, which is the org chart. Motion,
So moved.
Second.
any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Excellent. It looks like we made it to the public comment section. So any public? Doesn't seem like there's any public there. Do we have any public for comments?
Nope.
No.
So it looks like we made it to the board member comments.
Okay, I'll jump in. Looking forward to, we've got our summer to go through. But I'm looking forward to our retreat that is set up and organized. I think having a third party coming in and having us work together on our role in developing the goals and, in partnership with the administration and it's part of our responsibility. And for us, I think it's a really good opportunity for us as a team to be able to discuss and understand some of this as we keep trying to, working to improve our processes so that it's appropriate and streamlined moving forward. I think we keep making improvements every year. And this is something we've been talking about a lot. So I think it's a big, important step. So I do look forward to that. I look forward again to working together with the board, partnering with our administration. And it's a great school district we have, great vision with our administration and our leaders. And I know we have so many just terrific educators. I appreciate everyone stepping up as volunteers. Nobody's here for thanks. I never heard anyone asking for thanks for what we do because we're just here to make this place better. And our diversity of views is always an asset. So thank you.
Okay.
Look forward to another good year.
I just want to congratulate Lindsay and Heidi again. If you remember, I think they were team before, right?
Yeah, we were.
They were.
So I think they'll be doing fine, and we certainly will support you both, hopefully to make our school district better, and if not the best in the nation.
Yeah, I just want to say, welcome, Amanda.
Yes.
And, and how great it is, I think, that we have so many trustees on our board who are willing and interested to put in the work to hold an officer position. It's not the case on a lot of boards. It's often defaults to the only one who feels like they can do it or is willing to say yes. So I think it's great that we have the healthy dialogue and conversation. So, and hope everybody has a good summer.
Very good.
I just want to say thank you for welcoming me to my first meeting, and I look forward to working with everyone this year. I'm excited.
Again, congrats, Lindsay and Heidi, and yeah, I'm excited for to echo Chad, right, for the retreat, what's to come, right? There is, I think there was a lot of lessons learned. I think we've all, documented them, and I think there's a conscious effort across the board to work together and try to figure that out, right? Just how to be a little bit more efficient and collaborative and, communicate better and, both internally and, with the administration. Not saying there's anything wrong, but there's always that constant improvement and, how do we just get above and beyond that, or how do we improve on that? So no, I'm excited.
Mary Rose, I don't want to step on toes. No.
Looking forward to a good year. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, trustees, for this role for this year. You're absolutely right, Chad and Heidi. Nobody does this for thanks or any sort of anything other than the fact that our kids are here and in these schools, and we care deeply about making sure that our administration is supported in making sure that our programs are as effective as possible for all of our children. And I know that we're doing that. And I agree. I think that, starting us out by looking at this org chart, which was part of our first reading and adoption tonight, is a really great way for us to move into our first retreat together with Amanda. Congratulations, welcome. So happy to have you here. And looking at the org chart and looking at the roles and responsibilities and finding ways for us as the board to ensure that everyone has what they need to be successful and thrive. So I'm looking forward to a wonderful year. And yeah, Dr. Blanche.
I'm just hope everybody has a good remainder of your summer and stay cool on these hot days. So
Excellent. Okay, so be it resolved that this reorganizational meeting of the Board of Education be adjourned.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Safe travels, Lindsay.
Yep. Yes, have a